So, welcome back to Happy Hour with Heather and Guest. I'm joined as always by Heather, who is rocking one of our t-shirts,
Yes.
which is awesome. I'm wearing the same fedora that I have in that picture, and I'm rocking a Duncan Evans tee. And today we're talking about episode 31. Geez, I can't believe it's been 31. We're going to be discussing, amongst some other bands, Occult Hand Order, the Bloody Mallard, and I believe it's Syro Valley, although it could be Ciro Valley. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
So Occult Hand Order was Heather's choice. I picked the tracks. She suggested the band. Was there anything you wanted to discuss before we jump in?
No, I'm gonna say it all when we when we go
Okay.
song by song.
Cool. All right. Well, Occult Hand Order. We listened to two albums. The first one was self-titled. I suggested we begin with the song Autobahn.
Yeah, yeah, and they're self-titled. They released that in 2019. This band is from Lyon, France. Autobahn, my favorite part of this song is the woo! I was not expecting that. And I was like, all right, these guys are fun. I like that. I love the breakdown towards the end of the song and the repeat of "We're running on the highway, so let's go."
Yeah, I wrote that it starts, it's a very chill, psychedelic melancholy, unlike what I imagine the actual Autobahn to be, where people are driving with no speed limit. So very, very much different in my head once I listen to the music. And then the dam bursts, and I wrote with. Do you remember the professional wrestler Ric Flair?
Yes.
So he used to go woo. So when I heard that in the song, I thought for a second Ric Flair was going to make an appearance. And then it switches tempo, and I wrote it becomes more like the Autobahn that I would imagine, with fast cars just flying. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think both of our favorite parts of the song was the Ric Flair woo.
Yeah.
That's what I'll just refer to it as.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then the next track, I'm going to pronounce it Goetia. It's Goetia. I'll hand you off the ball. You can run with it.
Yeah, and this is my favorite kind of music, this atmospheric doom or heavy psychedelic doom. The song has the most beautiful guitar riff. I looked up the meaning of the song, and the name, it means invoking angels and demons. I think the singing and the guitar go perfectly together in this song. The guitar tones are incredible and such nice work on the drumming.
Yeah, I also looked up the title, and it had something to do with either demonology, or it referenced the Lesser Key of Solomon, which I think was a book. But you nailed it right in the head. However that phrase, you hit the head right on the nail, hit the nail right on the head. Whatever the, it sounded like a bass guitar opened it, and the riff had like a wah wah, like a bass wah wah type thing going on, which I really liked. And I don't know why, but the song reminded me of a scene from the movie Silverado, where Jeff Goldblum's character comes to town. And his first line of the movie, he says, "Excuse me, Sheriff, I'm a gambler who'd like to run an honest game in your town. To whom do I speak about that?" And then later on, he says, "The name's Calvin Stanhope, but my mother used to call me Slick." And that was always one of my favorite. I always wanted to introduce myself. My name's Andrew, but but people call me Slick, or people call me that other dude. So, if there was going to be a soundtrack to a song that introduced the character Slick, I thought this would be it. And if you don't think that I wasn't doing the side head nod while this song was going on, then you clearly have never seen the show before, because I was side head nodding like you wouldn't believe. So right off the bat, I had heard of Occult Hand Order before, and listened to their stuff sort of superficially. So it was really nice to revisit them and do a deep spelunking into their back catalog. And just a great album to start with. So well done, Heather, as usual.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up was the album that I had seen on YouTube before, that I think had sparked my interest. This one's called The Chained, the Burned, the Wounded.
Yes, and this was released in 2020.
2020, okay.
Yeah.
The first track that we were going to listen to is called What Comes After Us.
Yeah, and this was one of my favorite albums of 2020. You really get pulled into this right away. They really struck gold here. This song is so well crafted. It has intensity, but it also has softness. And I just have to gush more about the guitar tone. What an incredible song.
Yeah, I don't remember what the context was for me making this note, but I wrote down, probably because it's the Chained, the Burned, the Wounded, there were three. I wrote down the band Tony Tone. That was Tony Tony Tone. That was popular in the 80s. I don't know why. I guess I probably had a reason at the time, but I've forgotten what it is. So I thought of Tony Tone, The Chained, the Burned, the Wounded. This was probably my favorite track so far that we've listened to of theirs. I liked so much about it. The guitar tone, I liked how it's sped up, and then there's sort of a breakdown. And I said it's got all the elements you need, and there's a sense of longing. I remembered one time being out with my cousin, and we were listening. There was a song on the radio that was playing. I forgot what it was, but the singer was really sort of like pouring his heart out. And I remember my cousin said, he's mad tortured. That's how he put it. And that's the same sort of sense I got from this song. Like, this is coming from a place where someone is really longing for something. So really, I mean, an excellent track. And then the next one we listened to was called Wound.
Yeah, the bass and drums in the beginning are outstanding, and the same beat, it gets repeated throughout the song. The intensity ramps up and it goes into an atmospheric, ethereal part, and any lyric that references bones immediately gets my attention. And this, one of the verses is, felt something cold inside of me, shaking my bones. I can hardly breathe. It just erased all of my desires. I want to know what it is.
Yeah, I love that you analyze the lyrics, and I sort of unless a lyric really calls to me, then I'll jump in. But otherwise, I respect it as, this is Heather's territory. I'll stick with side head nods and whatever. I wrote this was a crazy wah-wah into a solid waterfall like riff, and I dare you to find another, music review or analysis segment where someone says the phrase crazy wah-wah into a solid waterfall like riff. I just don't think it'll happen. When I was talking to my therapist today, I made a reference to the song The Future's So Bright I Gotta Wear Shades by the band Timbuk 3. And I said, I'll bet you $1 billion you don't have another patient who'll make a reference to Timbuk 3. So she agreed with me. So there you go. You're going to hear things that you won't hear anywhere else on this show.
That's the beauty of this show.
Oh, yeah, it's the best.
And that's the beauty of having you on this show.
Well, us on this show, because we're whatever the combination of secret sauce is, it works. So yeah, and then I wrote into an immediate side head nod. So I sometimes will see how good, not how good a band is, but how much I like them. It's like directly proportional to the amount of side head nods I note in my notes. And so far, this is all side head nods. So well done again. And then we had, I wanted to go a little bit out of left field and have an acoustic. Once I saw that there would be an acoustic ballad on this album, so I picked the track Shore, simply because I wanted to mix it up.
Yeah, it's more pared down and it's gentler, really focuses on beautiful guitar playing and singing. Today we're talking about bands from France, the United States, and the UK. So we're going all around the world again today. I put both of Occult Hand Order, their EP and the record, I put both of them on our YouTube playlist, and I really recommend checking them out.
If there's one thing I will say, aside from the subjects that we talk about being unique, we have such a variety of bands that we listen to from all over the world. I take that as a point of pride that we really will showcase a band from anywhere, different genres, different places, everything. I mean, that's the beauty. This music is so universal that that's one of the things I love about it. But yeah, I had to include Shore. I think it's also really a testament to how good of a band they are in terms of their musicianship. The fact that they can play something really subtle like this that's very melodic and beautiful, and do a great job, and they don't have to rely on distortion and tone.
Yeah.
So definitely check out. They had been on my periphery before, but I definitely will put them in my playlist and revisit Occult Hand Order from here on out.
Yeah.
So we're going to go from France to the US or the UK? Where should we go next?
Let's go the US.
Okay, so now I think it's Syro Valley. I know they're from Connecticut.
Yeah, Hartford, Connecticut.
Hartford, CT, Hartford. And that, of course, reminds me of the movie Mallrats, where Brody is playing as the Hartford Whalers. And he says, Hartford, the Whale, they beat Vancouver once, maybe twice in a lifetime. I'm still amazed that I'm not really amazed that I have that memorized because it's me. But sometimes I even surprise myself at the depth of what I remember.
Yeah, I love that movie, but I don't remember. It's like I don't remember specific lines,
It's when he wakes up. Shannon Doherty is about to break up with him, and she wants breakfast, and he picks up the controller and starts playing hockey again, and he's the Hartford Whalers, and they're beating Vancouver. And he just goes into how important that is because they beat Vancouver once, maybe twice in a lifetime. And but he refers to them as Hartford the Whale, which I appreciated. So Syro Valley from Hartford, and do you want to?
Yeah, they're metalcore, hardcore. The album has 13 songs on it, ranging from 1 minute to 6 minutes. One of the songs I really liked was Locked In. When they sing How Can You Be This Way, it reminded me of the band Dope Smoker, which is wild because Dope Smoker is like a completely different genre. But they have songs where the vocal delivery is similar. So that kind of blew my mind. The album ends with the song Chrysalis, which is also the name of the album. And I wondered if that was a play on, you know, the same word spelled differently. That's the protective cover of a pupa. I don't know.
I noted the same thing, you know, that it wasn't spelled the same, but I feel like they were making an allusion to a chrysalis that a butterfly might grow in. So a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. And one thing I noted about the album, I felt like there were elements of the band System of a Down in a lot of the songs, and the band Ministry. And it definitely does have, it's hardcore music. They're definitely death metal vocals. So it is not, unique's not the word I'm looking for. It's a specific combination of elements. So I don't think it's as accessible universally. Like it's going to appeal to certain people who are going to love it. Like if you're into System of a Down and you like death metal and you like Ministry, I think there's a ton of stuff here for you. And it's really well done. So definitely check out Syra Valley. This latest album is called Chrysalis, but I think they have a bunch of albums that I saw on Bandcamp. So if this is your music, then you've found a place to come home to. So
yeah, I found one of their videos on YouTube, so I added their video to our playlist. So you know, definitely check them out.
Absolutely. All right. So now we'll get back on the international flight. We'll go back to the UK to London for the Bloody Mallard. And what are your thoughts on the Bloody Mallard?
Oh, the Bloody Mallard. They have an album, it's called Realm, and it came out in 2020. And we had a really nice conversation with Tom a while back. And I thought it would be fun to revisit this album. It's instrumental, heavy psych, progressive rock, incredibly well crafted and beautiful. For me, when I listen to it, I find it very calming and relaxing, very pleasant. I really can't say enough good things about this. If you need music that will help you work out any emotions or lift your spirits, I really recommend listening to this. If you want to read more about the description and information about the album, I put the full album from 666 Mr. Doom's channel, and it has a great description on it about more about the making of the album and more about, you know, what it's about. One part of the description that stood out for me was it encourages its listener to explore their inner mind with a meditative state of reflection.
Yeah, if you get the chance, usually I say it around this time in our video, but hit pause, go check out all the tracks on the playlist, come back, you'll have a much better idea. But also, during that pause, go check out the conversation Heather and I had with Tom, where we discussed this album and his process and everything. We even, one of my favorite things we discuss is possibly playing live at the foot of a volcano. So definitely worth checking that out. One thing I will bring up that I always loved, I don't think I'll divulge anything in the description, but the band is described as a London-based heavy psych prog and alt rock project after experimenting with melodies, rhythms, and tones that were reminiscent of many mushroom trips in rural Kent. That was always my favorite. And I've never done psychedelics, but listen to this music, I imagine that this is an alternative. Like you definitely, I felt like I was Alice going down the rabbit hole listening to this music. It does take you on a sonic journey, but it is very relaxing. It's almost like, you're sitting there at the end of the day in a relaxing chair with your dog at your feet, and a snifter of brandy, and a roaring fire, and you just put this album on and just ease back. So definitely one of my favorite albums of this genre. And I love the fact that the Bloody Mallard is a contemporary band. So it means that Tom and the gang will be making music, hopefully for the at least the foreseeable future. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but both Heather and I would highly endorse picking up Bloody Mallard related stuff. One day, perhaps we'll see them playing live at the foot of a volcano, but who knows? And yeah, that I guess that's it. We talked about Occult Hand Order from France, Sour Valley from the U.S., and the Bloody Mallard from the U.K. All bands you should definitely. There's something for everyone. Check them out. And I think that's going to do it for episode 31.
Yeah.
But we'll be back next week with episode 32. And because that's how numbers work. And we'll.
And it's your band pick next week?
It is. It is. I'm excited. I like the way we do it. So for the rest of you out there, have a good one. Enjoy all three of these bands. And Heather and I will be back to bring you more jams in the future.
Yes, and thank you for watching.
Absolutely.